Hey, all right. Right, okay. We are video number 2 for AP Stats. So, talked about measures of center and spread. Now we're going to look at a little bit more in detail with talking about quartiles and percentiles. So, remember that when we were talking about interquartile range, how we calculated that was third quartile minus. But how do I actually get what those numbers are? So again, just as a brief refresher, quartile is going to be our quarters. So we're going to take the whole data set and we're going to break it up in. So we're going to first want to have our data set in order, kind of like what we would do if we were looking at a. So I want to make sure that my data set is in. So first order of business, data numerical, that has to be first. So off to the side here, have a nice little stem and leaf plot. He tells me how I'm going to read these numbers. So the nice thing about the stem and leaf plot is it's all in numerical order. So I don't have to worry about sorting it in already done. So I want to break it up into quarters. So I first need to know how many points I have in my data set. So I got 1, 5, 7, 9, 11, 12, 13, 16, 17, 19. So I have 20 points in my data set. So if I have 20 data points, the way we're going to break it up into quartiles is we'll first split it up 10, and then take those numbers, put them up. Now, the reason I do it this way, as opposed to just saying, well, why don't you just take 20 and divide it by 4? Well, because again, remember that we'll have to find the middle. So like, for example, here, when I do 20 and I go 10 and 10, okay, that's an even number data set. So what would be the middle number? Oh yeah, I got to do that thing with there is no middle number. It's not an odd set. I gotta go ahead and do the average of the two quote unquote middle numbers. So I'm gonna count to the 10th numbers. 1, 2, 9, 10. Here's the 10th number, and then 25 would be the 11th. So 20 and then 25. So what would be the median or the 50th percentile? The number between 20 5. So get an average. So that would be 45 divided by 2, which would be 25. So this is going to be my median, or you can think of the median as also being quartile 2. 50th. Okay. So this represents the middle of. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to write actually this data set out. We can visually see it. So I got 5, 2 10s, and then I got 4 15. Then I got 3. And then I got 260, 5, 60, 5. So visually, boom, there's my Q2. Here's 10%. Sorry, not 10. Here's 10 data points. Here's 10 data points. Okay, now I'm going to take these 10 data points and I'm going to split them in half because I want to find out where's Q1, where's Q3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So right here would be Q1. So again, there is no actual middle number to point at. But lucky for us that it's between the same two numbers. 15 on this side, 15 on this side. So Q1 is actually 15. Q2 was 22.5. Now over here on this side, so I go 1, 2, 5. 5. So you see here, oh, here's Q3. But this does not describe any number. But again, these are not the same. Here they were the same, so easy to get the median. Here not so easy. I'm going to again have to do my little calculation. This is going to be, that would be, this here represent that middle 50%. My interquartile range, Q3 minus 1. And that would describe how wide that middle 50%, because this pocket here, when we break it up into quartiles, we're saying what? 25% of the data is here, other 25% here, which we can see. There's 5 numbers here, 5 numbers here, 5 numbers here. So that's what we mean when we say quartile. Now, again, as I said in the previous video, percentile is defined as, so let me just say the nth percentile. So n% of the population is below your value. So if you, again, get a score like an SAT or an ACT and they tell you you're in the 99th percentile, that means 99% of the population is below you. Okay? Is it possible to be in the 100th percentile? No, that makes no sense. Because if we said we were in the 100th percentile, we would say 100% of the population is below us. So are we not a part of the population? So we cannot say you're ever in the 100th percentile. Why, creme de la creme is always like, oh, you're in like 99.99 percentile. Oh, okay, we can divvy it up even smaller, like, but you are still part of that group. So you will never ever be at the percentile. On the flip side, no one's ever at the 0th percentile where they're above nobody. It's like, no, like you get to the low end of the scale, just gotta be below somebody. So when we say percentile, we're saying n% of the population is below your value. Now, this is the definition for AP stats. Okay. Some books, if you come across it, might say the percent of the population that is below or equal to your value. That is incorrect. It is the population that the percent of the population that is below your values. Make sure you remember below, not less than or equal to. Strictly less than your value.